strength spotting is a very simple practice of noticing and naming the strength in action, and then expressing your appreciation for that strength. And so one thing I want to point out is this is kind of an intuitive process for us. We're already doing this in our daily lives. But this framework of 24 character strengths gives us a framework. It gives us a language, a common language that we can all use, we can all learn and all use to notice and name who we are and what we do when we're at our best. So I'd like to now invite someone to come on screen, someone very special. Her name is Kamina Cruz, and she is a WERC graduate. And she was WERC's student speaker last year at WERC's event. And I'd like to invite Kamina to share a little bit about the next chapter of her journey. Now, we're not only going to be listening to her journey, but we're also going to be listening for Kamina's strengths. And then we're going to have an opportunity to practice strength spotting with Kamina. So as you're listening, go ahead and write down all of the strengths and try to remember the part of her story when you're noticing the strengths. So not only the name of the strength, but the details and why you appreciated this. We're going to try to use the C approach to strength spotting. So Kamina, I invite you to come up and bring your camera up. Oh, it's so good to see you. Hi.
Thank you, Jane.
Hi. Can't wait to hear your story.
When I first met you all, I was a recent WERC graduate, newly hired at KeyBank, working on my last semester of classes in the U-Albany Actuary program. As I excitedly adjusted to my new life back in the workforce, I began to speculate on my future career. I began a pros and cons list. The cons: sitting in a cubicle, staring at a computer, doing the same tasks all day, every day. The pros: traveling, networking, influencing, using the computer as a tool rather than a screen to hide behind. At the bank, my fondest task is strengthening relationships with our clientele. As a result, I've since had 4 job offers. My future was looking less like an actuary and more like something else. But what? I was still a fan of math, finance, and economics, but what to do with it? One day, out of the blue, I researched financial advisor, which led to financial planner. Both required an MBA. So I decided that after my completion of my actuary degree, I would continue with my MBA until COVID happened. One of the positive side effects of the pandemic, yes, there are some, was U-Albany's generous offer to waive not only the admission fee for the graduate program, but to also waive the GMAT requirement. Opportunist as I am, I seized the day and applied for the fall evening MBA program. A few days later, I was in contact with the graduate school dean and grad school advisor. They helped speed along the process. 10 days later, I was admitted to the program with 7 math credits waived. Accepting my invitation to join the program, I asked if I may start that summer rather than wait for the fall. I happily report that I completed 1 class this summer and am currently enrolled in 2. If all goes as planned, I will have my MBA in May 2023. Meanwhile, I am still with KeyBank, one of the best places to work, still networking, gaining skills and professional distinction by the day. What have I learned? With an MBA, an FA, and FP are 2, but only 2 of the many, many possibilities. I will continue to work hard and direct my energy in a forward path, allowing for turns here and there, but this time without the need to pinpoint a bullseye that may be missed. Thank you, Jane, for this opportunity, and thank you for the beautiful book.
Oh, You're so welcome, and thank you for elevating your bravery to come on and share your story with us, your amazing story. And you notice that you're getting a lot of love and support in the chat here. A lot of comments, a lot of strength spotting, adaptability. People think that your story is inspiring. We see love of learning, bravery, perseverance, honesty. Sharon is wishing you luck. Creative, smart. There's so much coming into the chat for you. And so stay with us here. I would like you to stay and just take this in and receive a little bit more strength spotting if you're okay with that. I would love to have a volunteer from the audience to elevate their bravery and come up and put your mic on and strength spot Kamina and just practice. This is a journey. This is something we're constantly experimenting and practicing. So I'm wondering if there's anyone who would like to come on and give this a go and strength spot Kamina. Oh, Desiree, great, thank you. Hi. Welcome. Thank you for your brave leadership.
Well, thank you. It was, it's very easy to spot excellence. I really enjoyed her presentation. From the moment she began speaking, beside the obvious how inspirational it was, I immediately heard superb judgment as she said she took the time to make a pros and cons list, and clearly that's amazing critical thinking despite her circumstances. It was clear that she had the ability of clear and concise thinking, and of course her creativity. And what really hit me was her bravery as she was heading down a path to be an actuary, how she just dug deep and said, this might not be the best selection. And then wouldn't you know it, with her internal hope and optimism, this opportunity for the MBA comes, and the gratitude throughout the entire time you were talking. It was just so inspirational. That's all I wanted to say. It was absolutely beautiful.
Wow, thank you, Desiree. And don't go yet, Desiree, because there are a couple things that I would like to note here. I'm getting chills. I'm so excited that you were able to share in that way, because this is a wonderful demonstration of the C approach. And it's nice to say something like, oh, I loved your, you did a good job, you used great critical thinking, you were creative, thanks for your love of learning. It's always nice to be recognized. But when you do what you just did, Desiree, well, I'm going to ask Kamina how she felt in just a minute, but typically it's much more memorable. It's like a special gift that we can give and receive every day, even with people that we aren't really happy with, even those people that annoy us and give us, we all have these, the cranky relative or the coworker who's annoying. Even they can be strength spotted, and it can shift who we are in that moment. So I'd like to thank you so much, Desiree, and I'd also like to turn to Kamina and ask you to unmute yourself, Kamina, and share with us, if you don't mind, how did it feel to be strength spotted in that way?
Oh, it's amazing. I have this habit when I'm with work of becoming a little verklempt, so excuse me all, forgive this moment. It's been an amazing process.
Yeah, take your time, Kamina. Take a deep
I hope that I'm giving back half the inspiration that I'm getting from all of you. Marge and Beth were instrumental in my reinventing myself. So this path that I'm continuing on, I thank you all.
Thank you so kindly. I almost wish we could just end right here, because this is such a perfect moment. It so demonstrates the power of this simple practice to talk about expanding and growing rewarding connections, right? This is one of the practices that is, in my mind, so important and so impactful. It feels real, it feels sincere. We feel seen and known. And even if you feel uncomfortable describing yourself in positive ways, this language of character strengths is an objective way of describing your best qualities. This is memorable. This is a moment that I will always remember.